Guys, we are 10 seconds away from a gameplay reveal of Hogwarts Legacy. I think this might be the most hyped I've ever been for a video game, genuinely. I can't wait for this. We're gonna watch it live, react to it. Here we go. I just can't wait to jump into this world, man. There's nothing like it. Gonna be able to see some combat today. Very excited for that. It's our first real look at the game.
There you are. You're wearing the House Fanatic robes from the account linking.
Thank you. I do look good. And this is our first look at the Hufflepuff common room, I'm assuming. I mean, dorm room.
The dorm room.
Yeah. This is awesome. But Alan, what are we seeing right here with the UI? Because this is our first look.
Dude, look at the spells down the bottom right.
Right now, we know there's been a lot of questions about
Health.
about the HUD because this is the first time we're showing it. So,
Items.
kind of going over it from right to left. On the bottom right is what we call our spell diamond.
Mhm.
So those are, everything that you see in it are slottable spells. So we have over 20 slottable spells that you can earn over the course of the game.
Okay.
And that's where the player can place them and use them and access them very quickly. To the top left of that is, you'll see the D-pad, and on the left is an eyeball, and on the right is a bit of a grid. So the eyeball is an example of one of, not a slottable spell, but what we call an essential spell. There are certain spells that are used in very specific contexts, or that we just want on the controller at all times. And Revelo is one of those. That's left on the D-pad. On the right on the D-pad is that grid represents where you might slot spells. And so right now, today, we're not going to be going into the spell slotting menu because we feel like there's a lot of spoilers there. You know, like what are all the spells and what can we do?
I would like spoilers, but I understand.
Dude, this game looks so good.
But we do want to make sure there's still some goodies left to share with everyone. And then on the left side, that thing that has the L1 button next to it, that's another thing where we don't want to spoil, but basically that's where you access your tool wheel. So there's a lot of magical tools that you're going to be
items,
brewing and growing over the course of the game. And so that's where you would access them rapidly, is our tool wheel.
Okay, cool.
There are a few things that I left off the table on the right. The green bar is your health, and basically there's a potion next to it. That's how you might heal. The bar above it, we're keeping a secret for now. I apologize.
Maybe ultimates or something? You've got 2 slots for it?
Is our mini map with a kind of overhead view of where you are currently in your common room that updates as you travel through Hogwarts and beyond out into the world. And for those fans out there that aren't a huge fan of minimaps, because we know they exist, there's also options to remove the minimap and turn on or off different elements of our HUD.
Really immerse yourself.
Very cool.
And we'll go more into the spells as we get into combat, but that's kind of, that's what you're seeing there. And this is our HUD.
Also, Andrew's giving us a good look over here. I want to call out. I'm a big fan of the bedside tables in the dormitories. Very nice bedside tables.
They are nice bedside tables.
Yeah.
She's got Birdie Bots, every flavored beans, and a chocolate frog on that one.
It's part of lore.
It's part of lore. There we go. All right.
The detail is what I'm so excited for. Look at
out
the sink there.
We really tried making these low-ceilinged dorms to give you that Badger set sort of feel.
And the first thing I know is the music. The score is amazing with this.
Gorgeous.
And I'm calling out here, this is unique music that you're hearing for the Hufflepuff Common Room.
For Hufflepuff, yeah.
Go back to those Common Room videos we released. You'll notice the music's a little bit different, and that is entirely intentional.
Oh!
We just want to welcome you to your common room in every single house, just a little bit differently. Begin customizing that experience right away.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Look at
all the moving portraits on the wall.
So, I mean, beautiful design. We could spend like the entire rest of the stream just in the common room here and talking about it, and I'm sure Boston and James could be like just geeking out over it.
All the details come from J.K. Rowling's writings for this common room. The round doors, the hanging vines, even the dancing badgers on the fireplace.
It's got a real earthy vibe.
Yeah.
It's very, very earthy.
Which is like elements for each of the houses, right? Like
this is
earth,
genuinely
Ravenclaw's
incredible.
Air, Gryffindor is fire, and Slytherin is water. We really leaned into that for each common room.
Wow.
So it feels earthy. We've got a little earthen passageway. That's what we were. Hopefully, it should feel very
the dancing
familiar.
cacti.
Yeah, it does. It does.
But I know you don't want to leave, but we're going to be leaving.
Thank you. I understand. Whoa, the sound effects though. Like, looking back at the trailers, it was just music, but kind of hearing how Hogwarts
You could hear
is
the
now.
door opening
That's
as
so
you got
cool.
closer.
It's tactile.
Yeah.
Andrew's going to make use of one of our spells, Revelio.
Use Revelio right here, because there's a little magic going on.
You notice a little something there.
A field guide page.
Yeah. So these are something that we kind of interchangeably call
Helga,
Revelio pages
Hufflepuff.
or lore pages. And you'll notice a bunch of things pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
You see that we got some
XP.
XP for it.
Mhm.
And you can also see that we've advanced something called like a field guide challenge up in the
okay.
corner.
Uh-huh.
So I want to talk about that a little bit. So we had to ask ourselves.
There's another one. Could have Revelio'd that as well.
Continue, I'm sorry. Continue.
There may be something you may or may not be able to tickle there.
Yeah.
But in our game, we had to answer the question, we're a late fifth year. What does that mean? How do we catch up to the other students?
Okay. Okay.
And so we have an answer to that question, and it's given to you by the staff. So there's something that we call the Wizard's Field Guide that's granted to you early on in the game. And the Wizard's Field Guide is how you actually work on catching up with the other students. So Andrew, if you hit pause for me up here, before you push forward a little bit, you can see in our pause menu, it's got this book theme.
Wow.
That's your Wizard's Field Guide. And you can see your house kind of crest
in the middle,
overlaid
yeah.
over it.
Okay,
right? And you
okay.
can see that on your level as well. So that the field guide has this magical property of looking out into the world around you. And the reason why it's on loan from the Ministry of Magic and the professors
So
have
cool.
granted it to you as a late fifth year student is because they want it to help you catch up to the other kids. And its magical property is to discover different opportunities to learn and grow all around you. So the way it works is, as you discover gameplay in the game, it actually recognizes that as a challenge, which is kind of
On the bottom.
locked into there.
Okay.
And Andrew, if you go in there, you'll see different types of challenges that are combat challenges,
Wow.
quest
Dude, this
challenges,
is sick.
exploration challenges. And you can see field guide pages are on there as well.
Yeah.
So
1%. We unlocked that one field guide page.
that entire category is one of the ways that the book itself kind of fills out into the school and spills out into the school and kind of hides itself with different types of challenges and different things to do around the school that you're
That is
actually going
so
to
cool.
interact with to
There's going to
help
be
you
so
grow as a
much to
wizard
do
and practice
outside
your
of just
spells.
like the main
And so that
story
thing that we just
missions,
saw is
and that's
not
what I'm
just
most
the field
excited
guide
for. I
challenge
just want
where you
to.
earn XP. It's also something that that players can use to learn about the school as they're traveling around. They spot these little secret facts, and they can kind of play a little bit of a game, discovering all of them. And there are over 100 field guide pages just in Hogwarts alone. So.
I just want to lose myself in
Is
it.
here. We're not gonna.
Circular staircase.
Look at this
Oh,
castle. Are you
portraits.
kidding me?
And I did notice the flue flame just
Grand staircase.
ignite right there, which was so cool.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Last travel points
Oh my
there. House hourglasses. We had to. How much fun
Gotta
was it
have
designing those and putting all
Oh, they're
those in
gorgeous,
there?
but
But
that they're there just like in the books.
Yes.
Right
It's
next
a
to
nod
the
to
Great
lore.
Hall.
it's a nod to
Yeah.
lore. House points is not a core mechanic or system in the
We
game.
didn't,
It is
we didn't turn it
narratively.
into like a gameplay system, but it's definitely present throughout our narrative. And there are lots of choices where we want to nod to things that aren't necessarily gameplay systems, but we nod
Go in the
to
Great
them
Hall.
as part of the narrative.
Over to the right
Part of the
there,
wizard
Andrew
world.
was teasing. That's the Great
Great
Hall.
Hall.
Go in the
Over
Great
those
Hall.
Doors. Again, we're not going there. He's just kind of like, no.
Cool.
Main staircase.
Here's another collectible page. Just again showing you like just these things around Hogwarts that you can do and pick up and.
That's a shot straight from the trailer too. Just that part right there. I recognize
We
that.
might be giving you a little fan service here with callbacks to those. So
And this must be summertime because I noticed these are the summertime windows. These windows will change with the seasons.
Yeah, the detail I
Really?
find in this is kind of I get surprised by it all the time.
That's a
didn't even know that was a
sentient
thing.
magic castle. So
Going outside,
Oh, man.
out the front doors,
And we're going out. Look at
into the
that.
courtyard.
This is where the students would normally kind of congregate, just to kind of chill out, play, meet each other outside of the Great Hall before and after meals.
Dude, look at
and
this.
I love the way that when the castle interconnects to that it interconnects outside, inside. There are pathways on both sides of things, so you really get a sense of scope to how big this castle is.
And when you see things like you'll notice a bridge over there, that's a place you can go to and cross. Like
Yeah.
everything that you see is
Look
a
at the
place that you can
distant
visit.
background too, the
Wow.
mountains
we
and
tried
everything.
we put a lot of effort in making it feel really alive. Not just with student population, but even just the greenery and stuff. It's Scotland.
Yeah.
And this castle's been here for hundreds of years, so it just kind of
Is that the greenhouse down there?
All the trees that have overgrown it, and
Oh my gosh.
that landscape, that
This
Scottish.
location might look a little familiar to you.
I thought I recognized it. I believe this is from the Spring ASMR, and yes, so that puzzle right there, that view, Andrew is taking us right back to
I am
that.
going to tell Andrew not to interact with that puzzle and to keep moving on. We can't spoil everything. We can't give you everything, right?
Hogwarts.
Dude, I
contains
love
a
how
lot of
everything is open. There's no loading screens. There's nothing. We're just you can go
This is
anywhere you want at any point
this
in time.
Grand entryway right here, coming down into a really kind of central area.
Yeah, we're coming upon the central hall, and we pointed out the greenhouse outside, and we'll notice when we get down there that it's on the right.
This is a big hub of the school. Like it's a big castle, but it is designed so you shouldn't get very lost. This is
The
kind of a
music.
Grand Central Station.
I love that. I love
Each
that.
direction, it's green over there, so the greenhouse is over there. Transfiguration Courtyard, the library straight ahead. So it's kind of the hub
Oh my
of
God.
a lot of the castle.
Even the color, visually, you can just tell, okay, green,
Oh, green, go that
greenhouse.
way.
Oh my God.
A lot of it'll be subconscious, but
Yeah.
it'll help you really learn the castle and feel like you know your way around.
Yeah, I'm not fast traveling at
Say that
all.
it's
I'm
easy to
running
learn.
everywhere.
All of us here still get pretty lost in it
It
on a
is a
daily
castle.
basis.
It
It's a
is.
castle.
Great point.
I love that
This is
Andrew's
just so
definitely teasing a lot of things here. I'm noticing he's swinging the camera this way and that.
Yeah.
He's got this grin on his face over there that's just like, yeah, I know what
That
I'm
statue
doing. I know
is
what I'm
from the reveal trailer. There's that dragon. Oh my
This
God.
is another location where the students will gather, and just kind of chill out.
And an opportunity
Nelly
to
Oxfire.
talk to somebody, get a
Yeah.
quest giver here.
So this is how you earn quests.
Is everything all right?
Cutscenes.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm Nelly, by the way. I'm just so excited that the Daedalian keys are back.
The what keys?
The Daedalian keys. Surely you've seen them flying about. Rumour is that a former headmistress, Professor Moll, conjured them to protect the contents of certain locked cabinets years ago. Professor Black couldn't be bothered to disenchant the keys, and they appear every few years. You should try to catch one.
Sounds like we should
Why would
collect
I
them.
do that?
Each key will lead you to a locked cabinet somewhere in the castle. If you can manage to get the key into the cabinet lock, not an easy task, you may find a reward.
And you've got multiple dialogue options.
Perhaps I'll give it a go.
I hope you do. In fact, I think I heard one of the keys in the astronomy tower. You should listen for them.
It's a place to start.
So those kind of
I
side
hope
quests
you
are really, it's a cool way to interact
If you manage to
with
open a
your
cabinet.
fellow students, with perhaps other teachers, with, various things like that, as well as teach you some more of the secrets of Hogwarts, I think. There's a
In this
little
case,
bit of that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So the students are a way to kind of like flesh out the school opportunities around it, what we can do, and then those interactions. Different interactions with different characters can also offer different choice points for the player, and then some of those things can affect things game wide. Some of these affect characters' lives, the ending of the game.
And sometimes it's just about you
Are there
being a
multiple
little bit
endings?
of a
It's
nice
just about
guy
the
or just
mission.
being a jerk.
Yes, absolutely. So the
Sounds
scale
like
really
it.
varies, but those opportunities exist for the player.
Wow, look at
This is the astronomy tower?
This is the Dada Defense Against the Dark Arts
Oh.
Tower, which
The Dada Tower.
This is one of my favorite locations in the castle. Just visually, you come in here and just the richness of
It
this
is
area.
very
is
iconic. Very
Every
unique to
space has been so different.
anywhere else in the castle.
somebody else that we can talk to, notably a younger student.
No, she looks like a first year or an 11-year-old.
Are you all right?
Don't you know who I am? Zenobia Noak, the girl whom everyone at school hates for no reason.
Oh.
Everyone hates you. Why?
Because Hogwarts is full of bullies and spoilsports. Leander Pruitt's one of the worst, that no-talent moon mind. I wanted to make some new friends, and so I brought my collection down to the common room. My gobstone collection, that is. I was hoping someone would want to play. Are you familiar with gobstones? Little balls, like marbles. Grand game. And if you lose, they spray you with a foul-smelling liquid.
I haven't much interest in a game that sprays you with odors.
Only if you lose, which I never do. Or at least, not often. People can be so cruel. Just because they're sprayed all over with smelly gobstone spit, it's their own fault for losing. Imelda is one of the worst losers. Everett and Astoria are terrible as well. And now those poor losers have taken my gobstones and hidden them in very high places all over the school.
So we'd have to go collect them for her. I'd have done the same.
Sounds as if
So
you
you could
caused
be
the
an
smelly
ass.
situation and they responded accordingly.
I didn't make the rules. Anyway, I can't work out how to get them back on my own. I don't think I know the necessary spells yet. I need someone, perhaps a selfless and talented 5th year to help me.
I'll see what I can do.
I'd appreciate the help. If you do find all of my gobstones, do come and see me again. I'll be back to playing Snake Pit and Jackstone by myself in no time.
I love that
Interesting.
interaction with her because there's so many ways that you can go with that. You can you can feel for her. You can be a jerk to her. You can be like, Gobstone sounds awful. It sounds like you're just mean. Like,
Yeah, and your opportunities to be mean there aren't over. So,
I think
they continue.
that's a good example of the.
Gobstones too. I know people are gonna ask. Gobstones playable? They mentioned it, right?
Yeah. So yeah, gobstones is one of the things that is not playable in the game. I know we've had to rip the Band-Aid off on a few things.
Quidditch.
Honestly, it's both it's an amazing thing on the franchise how many things about this like speak to us as fans and that we want to turn into gameplay. And there were calls that we had to make over the course of production of kind of like which things we will and won't include in the bucket, just kind of for the overall health of
Wizard's
the thing.
chest.
Those are things that aren't featured.
Aren't featured.
Yeah.
They're featured within the world. Right?
I'm glad they're mentioned. They're a part of the wizarding world.
Yeah. Every single time
Part of
there was something that
students'
we regretted because we couldn't include it. We also tried to figure out a way to make sure that it was included in the narrative, included in the stories, make sure that there's
That's
a way
cool.
to kind of like acknowledge it, touch it, you know, and make it feel like it's definitely part of the world.
There's only so much bandwidth to be able to use.
I was like, we're in the Fist Against the Dark Arts
understandable.
class. I recognize that staircase to the left where we were just at. Andrew was walking by. I also recognize the dragon at the very top. Oh my gosh.
Being in a classroom, I think this is a good opportunity to talk about how classes work because we've gotten a lot of
Ooh,
questions.
here we
about
go,
that.
okay.
Is it a schedule-based system? Is it so tell us how classes work?
Yeah, so ultimately decided not to go the sim route. So I think like one of the speculations was, is there time of day and you know, that kind of thing. Like, can I miss class at this time of day? and
There
that kind
is
of
a
thing.
day-night cycle.
Yeah, there is a day-night cycle, but everything is very narrative-based, and so there's a big
You can
mystery
take it at
going
your
on
own
in the
speed.
world. There's something happening in the narrative, and we essentially see it as kind of like chapters in that narrative. Each chapter of which has a set of missions that you can choose between as you're progressing through the game, and classes fit within that structure. So there are mainline things that the players have to do, and then classes also appear on the sides as well as optional things that help you advance your spells. It's absolutely true that classes provide all of your major tools throughout the gameplay, your spells, your major abilities. You get to know the professors. Each one of them has these bespoke kind of events and moments in those missions. And then there are also additional opportunities outside of that through kind of like side classroom missions, essentially, where you can learn additional spells or things that you need in your adventure and also get to know the professors better.
Dude, I'm going to be a Hermione Granger, baby. I'm going to need a time turner.
Ways to kind of
going to
interact
every
with the
single class,
environment
not
and
missing one.
Just engage with the world, and maybe down there who's sipping some tea with the
Victorian high,
high society.
High society.
And it's no wonder you like this area because we built it for like the purebloods and the Slytherins.
Oh,
and,
come on.
Well, like, speaking of lived in, like, the sound effects again, the chatter of the communication that's
People on
happening
brooms
and the
flying
footsteps,
by?
like, it just makes it feel more alive.
Little events like that, brooms going
I
by
just saw a broom
overhead.
go by. Love that.
I think that's my favorite thing, seeing like the students interacting and talking with
Data
each other
tower
and
was
people
one
walking
example,
by
but,
with owls and
No two hallways should look the same in Hogwarts. It has a lot of personality. Every hallway should be a little bit different, and that's mostly to help orient the player.
Right.
Help you not get lost. But this is Hesperus Hall. That's a little nod from the Marauders, a name that came from the Marauders map. But every hallway will have a little bit of a different personality, and
This is just so massive.
Personality. I like
This
that.
world
And
is so
it
massive.
gives- It does. Like,
And it's bigger than
Hogwarts
just
has
Hogwarts.
character.
You've got the
Hogwarts is
grounds,
its
you've
own
got-
character no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Feels
Locations
just
outside.
A little bit different.
Yeah.
Sentient castle full of magic for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
It's going to kind of
And
grow
full
and
of,
develop. Oh, I heard something.
Yeah. Speaking of characters.
Speaking of magic, Mr. Magic himself.
My future poltergeist too.
It's the second time we've seen
we talked
Peeves in the
about
trailer
building
so
on
far.
lore, too. I know there's that statue over to the
Oh,
side.
yeah?
That's
Do you know who that is?
Lachlan the Lanky,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
got his Bowtruckle friend. And I think if players don't know, there's another
Well,
Revelio
so-
page there.
Yeah, there's a map of Argyllshire. We know the fat lady hides
It
there.
hides behind it. That's right.
The third book. But sometimes a hallway has personality by how it looks, or we just passed a music hallway where the portraits have kind of taken it over, and so the sound makes it really unique.
All
So
right, I
every
gotta call
piece of this
out here. I know
castle
there's
is
been some
alive.
criticism in the past that our trailers and our gameplay and what we've shown so far has not had enough owls. Okay, so here we are at the owlry. We're looking directly at the owlry to show you all of the owls.
It's a lot of owls.
It's a lot of owls at the owlry.
I
all
love the
owls.
fog rolling down that.
Great callback. Great call.
No, I also love that as I one of my favorite things about just kind of going around on the outside of the school is that all those things that I see are places that I can go to. that
So
I
you can
visit.
go
I
all
just
the way
love
to that owlry.
sensation knowing that is
cool.
real.
That lovely Scottish countryside.
We're kind of closing out our mini tour of Hogwarts, and again, it was but a fraction of this enormous castle. But we're closing it out here
Look at
in the
the
clock
scale
tower,
of
so
this.
another recognizable location.
Yeah.
But this is where Crossed Wands, which is the secret, not so secret dueling
Wand
club,
club?
is.
Dueling club?
That the students have put together. Professors definitely know about it, but they think they're being clever. And it's run by this Lucan Brattleby here.
Who's in a younger year, but we kind of like that that he's running things.
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice. Ready to have a try now?
Let's do it. So we get to see actual spell casting
Be sure
now.
to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
And this is a really good opportunity to now jump into combat, because really
This
in
like
the
a
game,
minigame?
this is going to be the first time where you yourself get to learn about combat and combos in a big way and in a new way. For me personally, this was where the game like really starts to open up to the possibilities.
Yeah. So
we're gonna bring him into us and
we set
then-
up a training dummy, and this is kind of an activity where you're supposed to execute according to kind of the iconography on the top. Now, what we see on the top is the Accio spell, followed by 4 what we just kind of lovingly refer to as basic shots. There's certain spells what the wizards kind of like use, just kind of fling. Andrew's using one now. And you trigger that by tapping R2 on your controller. So you can see in the corner R2. So if you tap R2, that throws out a basic shot. But that R2 is also your gateway to all of the spells that you might slot. So if you hold R2 instead, you can see how the diamond expands.
Okay.
And if we let go, you see how it contracts.
Yeah.
And so if you hold it again, it expands.
You hold R2 and press
And so when it
square,
expands, then all the
triangle.
spells that you slotted while you're holding that button can now be tapped with your face buttons.
Awesome.
And not only that, but over the course of the game, you can gain additional spell diamonds, up to 4 additional ones, so that you can slot up to 16 spells, pretty much instantly. And then that helped us fulfill the fantasy of in combat, I need to be able to access things very rapidly.
Yeah.
So you can
we
access up to
learn over the course
16
of these
spells at a
events,
time?
How to juggle not just the spell casting, but also it reinforces an understanding of another feature of the wheel, which is their cooldowns. So as you're casting spells, just to make sure that you're not just kind of like repeatedly using one thing over and over and over again,
Right.
you can see cooldowns on the spells that he's using on the wheel. And then as you progress through the game, there are different things that can affect things, like cooldowns through your talents, different things that allow you to kind of like juggle and adjust and update those things.
I'm
And
sure there's
so
going to be
if
some
you hold
crazy
down
combinations you can do
R2
too.
And you tap the D-pad, it will switch between your other diamonds if you've unlocked them, and that's how you access all those.
Oh man. It looks like we're about to get some action over here.
Yeah. So this is a great way to kind of learn how to pull things together,
So you
pull those
Leviosa
combos
right
together.
Here.
I can't believe you could have up this.
Yeah. Tap, Accio, tap, tap, tap. Awesome.
Look at the combinations.
Well done,
Good job,
Andrew.
Andrew.
And that's just against the dummy, but I mean,
I'd say that's enough practice.
I wonder how defense works too, though. We're gonna be able to
Thank you,
parry and
Lucan.
block and.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
I think now we can take on something a little more challenging. It's going to shoot back.
Duel.
Now let's talk about some more features of the combat system.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of crossed wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
We're on a PS5 dev kit here, so we're going to be able to kind of pause
I'm
the
ready.
the action
Yeah.
and talk about what you're seeing on the screen, because there's about to be a lot going on.
Okay.
You can choose who you want to go against.
All right, here you can select if you want to fight with somebody else, some of
One
your
of the other
classmates.
students.
Yeah.
But in this case, we're not. We want that action to feel a little more frantic towards you to really get you that sense of combat.
So
Ready to
apparently
get
you've
thrashed.
got quite the reputation because they've got you up against three people.
Yeah.
Oh
Off the
wow.
jump.
A 3v1.
So I can explain this just because I know people are going to go into it, but we can probably just kind of jump in.
Break through violet shields with
so,
spells like the summoning charm Accio.
You're not the only one that has Protego and the ability to deflect. The enemies do too. And we actually play with that when it comes to the spell casting. So you notice that there are different colored kind of shields around the different characters. And you also notice that your spells have different colors on them. So to help players understand kind of like the function of their spells, we kind of put them into brackets.
So Wingardium Leviosa
there are
against the
damage
yellow here.
spells, there are force spells, there are, I'm forgetting the other one, all of a sudden, control spells. And so those things for the player, they wind up also being a color indicator for which
And you can roll.
actual spell to use to break the different shields that enemies can use.
That's
That way it rewards kind of like that close
Right,
attention that you're paying
And
on things.
We've got this paused here now, and you can kind of see all the elements on the screen, the halo around the avatar's head, each of the different shields, to kind of give us a breakdown of what's
Give
going
us a
on.
breakdown of different things that you're saying. So you notice at the top that we're kind of like calling out
Enemy health.
which enemy you currently have targeted and their level and health. And so, as you target different characters, you'll be able to get that breakdown. The halo over your head, whenever an enemy is about to an attack, it's almost like you have a little bit of a sixth sense for those things that are coming.
Like in
If you
Spider-Man,
see
when
the
the
halo, it means
white
there's an
things,
incoming
you
attack,
need to
and if
dodge or
tap
block.
the triangle button by default, then that you'll be able to deflect that attack that comes in and off with your Protego.
And I love that deflect where it goes off and like hits things up and kind of breaks things off walls too.
But also, if you hold the button, then it doesn't just deflect. It also deflects and turns around with a counter attack stupefy that actually stuns the enemy. And you can use that even in your combos and stuff. So if you're focused on a character, and you're doing your thing, and someone else attacks you, you can actually turn that
environment's
attack
interactive.
into a direct attack on the person that you're comboing.
Back into gameplay here. Andrew's gonna pretty handily finish these other students off here, win this
Look how
duel.
fast it is.
Get over here,
Yeah,
Constance.
we really felt like in the movies, there's
Dude, it
almost
feels
like
weighty. Like the impact
kinda
of the
like
spells against the doom,
there's this
doom,
element of kind of
doom.
like fencing from a very great distance.
That's such a good call.
And there are a lot of things that we had to do with our controls and combat system in order to kind of capitalize on that idea
beat them
that's pretty unique to the
blindfolded.
Wizarding world.
Understandable.
Well, perhaps you should try that next time. The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning, or at least surviving the next round. I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then.
So this is going to be another set of side
The
missions. You
next
can
round
work
is
your
for
way up
all
in the
the
dueling club.
Godstones, so to speak.
Become a master dueler.
And that is more or less going to wrap it up for us for now, for what we wanted to show you. Character creator, tour of Hogwarts.
Oh, it looks
and,
so good,
just that
dude.
little taste of combat. But we didn't want to leave you without maybe a little taste of something that
One last surprise?
We may show in the future, may show next time. So leaving the castle, going out here.
More owls confirmed.
Owl mail. There's the owlry again. Yes, all of the owls.
This is just so
But yeah,
beautiful.
just heading out here again to show you, like, from Hogwarts, to the world beyond Hogwarts.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Man.
this is not somewhere where we're going today, but we will definitely be
can.
taking you in the future.
Oh my goodness, dude. I think we might have a little secret at the end. Maybe just a recap trailer. I don't know. We'll see. See if we can point anything else out. I can't wait to live and breathe in this world. I think that's what I'm most excited about is like, oh, riding a hippogriff. This is outside of the castle, out in the woods at like a campfire. But yeah, I think that's like, you can read the books and you can visualize it and, you know, let your imagination run wild within, you know, boundaries set by the books. You can watch the movies and see it with your eyes, you know what I mean? But this game, you're going to actually be able to live in this world. Like you're going to be able to physically put yourself in the world like we saw with the character creation, but you're also like, you're going to be mentally inside of the world controlling things, interacting with things. Like you're actually there. There's no other medium, no book, no movie can do that. Video games are going to completely change the way that you can interact, see, touch, feel this world. And I think that's what I'm most excited for. So hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Let me know what you guys are most excited for. February 10th cannot come soon enough. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.